Honestly, what's kept me sober has been service work. For me, continuous service has kept me feeling like a true member of Alcoholics Anonymous.
I've heard it through the grapevine. Welcome. It's the AA Grapevine half-hour variety hour featuring the collective voices of Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm Don, an alcoholic in Greensboro, North Carolina.
And I am Olis, an alcoholic in Monterey, California.
Monterey, California?
For the Monterey Jazz Festival.
I am jealous. I have always wanted to go to the Monterey Jazz Festival.
Here's the thing. Get sober and live your best life.
So you're going to do a jazz festival sober.
Sober.
It is entirely fun to be sober at a music festival. I mean, you're there to see the music, and the music is spectacular at a festival.
And I'm going to remember all of it.
Well, Alice, it's a new month. Can't you feel the excitement building up?
I can! Woo!
You know what that means. The new grapevines are here. The new grapevines are here. Woohoo!
You know, in it, our Grapevine editor writes, each November we feature stories from our Grapevine story archives. If you haven't looked through our vast well of stories, please visit aagrapevine.org. It dates back to 1944 and holds many of our co-founder, Bill W.'s essays. This month, we feature some wonderful treasures from AA's earliest days. We also celebrate the 50th year of our beloved AA book, Living Sober.
Ooh, Living Sober was really important to me when I first got sober. I loved that book.
Yeah.
The editor continues, follow us on Instagram. Look for Alcoholics Anonymous _GV. And, as always, please keep those great stories, letters, and jokes coming. Wishing you warm greetings and a happy, sober Thanksgiving in fellowship, the editor.
The issue opens with an interesting report about the last General Service Conference, which was April 27th through June 3rd, 2025 in New York City. Reading it will give you a sense of what it was like to be there.
Also in this issue, there's some of the archival stories from the early days of AA.
First, a 1950 article by Lois W., Bill's wife, and the co-founder of Al-Anon. In It Might Have Been the Time, Lois shares how she came to apply the program in her own life.
In a 1957 Grapevine article, Let There Be Light, a blind member expresses her love for our first Braille Big Book. You know, I've seen a copy of the Braille Big Book, and it's like 7 volumes in Braille. It's really big.
The Serenity Prayer author shares his thoughts about our movement in the beautiful Letter to AA from a 1960 issue.
And a day counter tells how the amazing little Living Sober book helped him make a safe landing in sobriety in the story My Parachute. That story is one of a whole section from folks about using the book Living Sober.
Don, when it's the first of the month, I get really excited because we always get to invite a Grapevine author on the show.
Oh, yeah.
So you are keeping me in suspense. Who is today's guest?
Well, today's guest wrote the story Learning to Trust. We welcome Sarah C. from Puyallup, Washington. Her story is on page 43 of the November 2025 issue.
But first, the news. Please submit your story on the topic of sponsorship to the Grapevine. Stories are due by February 1st, 2026. We'd like you to share your experience of sponsoring others or of being sponsored.
What are some of the things you've learned? What can you pass on? Or submit a story on one of these upcoming themes, dealing with loneliness or remote communities.
We also need individual tradition stories. Pick a tradition and share your experience with that tradition. Visit aagrapevine.org/contribute.
Have you heard about our Grapevine book, Forming True Partnerships?
As the chapter on Step 4 in the 12 Steps and 12 Tradition puts it, when we were drinking, many of us had a total inability to form true partnerships with another human being.
This collection of Grapevine stories shows the many ways members use the 12 steps, sponsorship, and the tools of the program to improve and repair their relationships.
It has colorful stories on families, friendship, marriage,
Divorce, dating, romance.
coworkers, sponsorship, and get this, pets.
Forming True Partnerships covers a wide range of experiences from sober alcoholics, all focused on how we form true partnerships with others. Get it now at aagrapevine.org.
Hi, my name is Sarah C. I'm an alcoholic. My sobriety date is 5/30 of 2018. My home group is the Shop Group out of Puyallup, Washington. We're actually 100% online now, but we used to be located in Puyallup, Washington.
That's the way it is with an online group. It's like, do you have a geographic location? Maybe not really,
Yeah, and for our group specifically, we were in a district where there were all in-person groups and we stayed online after COVID. And so we ended up moving to an online-only district, but in our online district, there's no geographical boundaries. So we can have people from anywhere, and we do, which is pretty cool.
So the Washington area has made an online district for all the online meetings.
Correct. Yep.
Not all districts have done that, so I'm really happy for you that you're in a district that has done that.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and I'm pretty involved with the district as well. And it's really cool. I mean, there's a group from Ukraine and just all over the place. So the move was kind of bittersweet because I loved our old district, but
Yeah.
it's really working well.
What are some of the specific things about being an online district that are unique to it that you found?
Well, the biggest thing is we had someone in our home group who moved to California and so wasn't able to be a part of our group for some time. Then when we went online, he was able to come to our meetings more often. And then now, he can be involved at the district level. Really, for anything that we do, we bring online meetings into treatment centers. So that's pretty cool. And we're kind of navigating what that means to be an online only district. How do you provide service at just the online level, So I've done both. I've done the in-person treatment and online, and it looks very different, but at the core, it really is the same.
The thing I say to people about online meetings is that God's everywhere, that online meetings have the opportunity to provide what feels like a flimsy reed, right? The loving hand, whether it's online or in person, right? So I love that you're providing 12-step work to facilities as online people.
Yeah.
Remotely, you're reaching out to people that are in a facility that are new, that are maybe new to AA, and you're shining the light. That is really beautiful.
That's great. So what was going on with you, Sarah, in 2018 that gave you the idea that you needed to go to AA of all things?
Well, I will tell you, I was not interested in going to AA. I actually came to AA because of a resentment towards my husband.
Oh.
It's true. So from the age of 16 on, I really was a heavy drinker, I would say. And when I was, I had a minor in possession at 16, DUI at 22, drank all through college, and I was a daily blackout drunk. I mean, it was really dark for a really long time, but I honestly thought I'm able to keep my job. I'm able to, keep my driver's license after the first time, right? Because the DUI in college, that's just a rite of passage, is the way I looked at it, right?
Well, okay.
That's just how it goes. You
Right.
drink in
The
college.
rationale.
Everyone's like me.
My husband and I were drinking buddies, and he decided to quit drinking. So I guess 2017, he made a choice. He decided to quit drinking. And mostly it was because of our son. At that point, we had a 2-year-old son, and he made the choice to stop drinking for him. And I didn't think that I needed to quit drinking.
Seems severe.
You mean ever stop drinking completely? So I just made an agreement with him. I would just drink when I was out with my friends occasionally, and you guys
Oh,
know how well that worked out super well. So,
well, that's the beginning.
yeah, exactly. So he started going to AA meetings and he had a where and when sitting on the table, which for people that aren't familiar, it's a little booklet. It tells when and where AA meetings are, and they distribute them locally. And I picked it up and looked at it, and he said, "Oh, are you thinking about going to a meeting?" And I said, "Yeah, I mean, I'll go check one out." So I went to one meeting and I didn't like it very much.
You came home and you were like, that was terrible.
Yeah, pretty much. I did not feel any connection with anyone there because, again, I didn't want to be there.
Yeah, you don't want to quit drinking. Why do you want to do AA?
Yeah, I came up with any reason not to like it. It was in a church and I didn't like that. And there were all these things about it I just didn't like. It wasn't for me. So he asked me very reasonably, would you be willing to go to AA meetings for a few months? And then if you still don't want to go, after a few months, I'll never bother you about it again. And I was like, dang, that's reasonable. I guess I should probably do this just so I can prove
Yeah.
to him that I don't need Alcoholics Anonymous.
Get him off your back.
Yeah.
Get him off my
Yeah.
back, right? And so
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
thing that happened was I came in so nervous, and there were three women there that I still know today, and they brought me into the conversation as though I had been there forever, as though I was part of
Yeah.
their group. And I didn't know
Yeah.
these
A
women. I
sense of belonging.
a sense of
Yeah.
belonging. I thought it was really strange. I remember being able to hear frogs outside at the first meeting, and it was magical. And I found my sponsor there.
What was attractive to it if you still felt like that you could control your drinking?
Yeah, good question.
It was the desperation of not being able to control my drinking that made me willing to go to AA.
Right. So I think being involved in those meetings. So the first thing that attracted me was the people and how funny and joyful they were and kind. But truly, what happened was I did stop drinking during that period when I was going. Not all of us do, but I did during that period when I originally started going to AA meetings. And I heard when they shared their stories, I started looking at my own drinking and my own
Mm.
behavior and realizing, looking at it from a different perspective and understanding it's not normal to black out every night. It's not normal that when I do control myself, that I have to
Control in big air
control it.
quotes,
Yeah.
right?
I heard a great quote at a newcomers meeting where the person said, if you have to control it, you're out of control. And it occurred to me that maybe I wanted a better life for my son, and that me being a drunk mom constantly was not the best option for him. So, to be honest, initially, it really was a lot for my son. And now I love this life.
You know, the thing I want to ask you, Sarah, this is really for our listeners and for anybody that is still considering, right? Do I belong here? Is this the right decision, right? Because if you don't want to be here, then everything's going to annoy you, right? The people, the bad cookies, the cheap coffee, the church basements, right, all of it.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, when you made the commitment to your husband, I'm only going to drink occasionally when I'm out with my friends, because you thought being a daily blackout drinker wasn't necessarily a problem, right? But then you commit, okay, I'm only going to drink when I'm out with my friends. When you couldn't do that, what did you think? Because you couldn't do that.
I was really scared. I remember being terrified that I wasn't able to control this. That even when I did
Yeah.
go out with my friends, I'd say, I'll just have a few drinks, and I couldn't do it. And on the rare occasion where I did control my drinking, if I had to drive, it was tough. I really had to struggle to only have two drinks or whatever it was. So I remember I felt helpless because I really felt like I had no control over my drinking at that point. I was terrified. I didn't know what to do, I didn't know what the solution was.
What is it that AA gave you that enables you to go through the day and not drink?
Number one, I think you have to feel welcomed.
Not just invited,
Yes,
welcomed.
you need to feel welcomed. And I felt welcomed. And the amazing thing for me, what I wasn't looking for, but that I found was the fellowship. I did not know that Alcoholics Anonymous was a complete design for how to live my day-to-day life. I didn't know
Right.
that. I thought you come in, they teach you how to not drink, and you graduate from AA. Like, that's
Right.
really what I thought.
But it's not a not drinking program, right? That's not what it is. It really is a design for living.
It is, and it's what the reason why it helps is that alcohol was my solution for a really long time. Alcohol was the solution to my anxiety, to my stress, to my depression, to anything that came up. That was my solution.
It's a solution that quit working for me. Alcohol used to work for me as a solution to any problem I had in my life. But it quit working and it became a real problem. It actually became the problem.
Well, and even when it quits working for me, which is also true, I still felt like I needed it.
It feels like it's still the solution. It's
'Cause
the
it
one
might work
thing
again.
holding me together.
One day.
Yeah.
And the book talks about this, right? Like, I keep pursuing the experience I had early on with drinking.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you stand back and look at it, what's the most surprising part of your transformation? What's the thing about you that's different that surprises even you?
I think that's a great question. I think the biggest thing that's different is that I am not afraid of people anymore. I found this fellowship of women, and that was the most surreal experience because, again, like, I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't looking for a
That's
group of women to support me and lift me up. I didn't know that I needed that.
That's
I
right.
didn't think that I needed that.
That's right.
So the biggest difference, yeah, is that I can be a human among humans. I heard someone say it at one of our assemblies. I don't know if you guys have ever watched or read Lord of the Rings, but he said, I'm a hobbit among hobbits. And I just loved that. I fell in love with that. But I'm a human. Yeah, I'm a human among humans. I can be in a group of people now, and there's no panic. There's love. There's understanding. And the biggest thing now is to make the next person feel welcome. That's my number one goal.
I love that. The thing I think really holds us together, the common denominator, is that we're uncomfortable in our own skin.
Yeah.
And that what Alcoholics Anonymous gives us is this place to grow into being completely comfortable, feeling like we belong, and then wanting to give that to somebody else.
Yes, because I remember feeling my whole life as though I always needed a head change. I needed something to feel comfortable. Always. Like, even from a really young age, I remember thinking that.
Yeah.
It took a while. It didn't happen in the first 3 months or even the first year. It happened gradually. But the difference is I don't have those cravings anymore. I feel comfortable. I feel good in my skin. I like the person that I am, and I don't feel the need to self-medicate anymore.
When I came in, I remember thinking there's something up with these AA people because it seemed to me like all of them kind of glowed with this kind of light. They just seemed happy, comfortable, good-natured, not so cynical as I was. I was in such a hole that people who were healthy and well looked like that they were spiritual giants to me. I mean, it was like, what is it? It's like light is coming out of them. It was very intimidating.
For sure. My sponsor was that way. I've had the same sponsor all through. And I tell people if it's not a good fit, you can always find a different sponsor. But for me personally, my sponsor, when I found her, I just latched on and never let go. And she's one of those people that just radiates joy. And she has over 40 years this year.
Sarah, you wrote an article for the Grapevine. How did that come about?
I heard about a Grapevine writing workshop happening. And so I went to that workshop.
Woohoo!
It was so
Thank
cool.
you guys for doing Grapevine writing workshops.
Yeah.
I loved it. So I asked the facilitator, how do I submit an article? And I was the Grapevine rep and I did not know. She told me, she said, here are the requirements. When you send in a story, it needs to be this many words, and gave me all the information. And so at the retreat that I talk about in my story, we hosted our own Grapevine writing workshop. And actually one of my sponsees had an article published this year as well, 2 months ago, and both from that same workshop. So we did it last year and we're going to keep doing it every year.
Sarah, you were talking about radiating light to people, radiating light. Now you're radiating light to us now. It's been wonderful to talk to you today.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, my pleasure, to be on this podcast.
Mike, alcoholic. I subscribe to the Grapevine because I now listen to the Grapevine Magazine read to me by someone else. Reading is for suckers. And I listen to a podcast episode every day that I'm not at a physical meeting. Now, I've worked my way through all of them. I'm just going to go back to the beginning. It's not like old podcast episodes aren't worth listening to just as much now.
The Grapevine strives to be self-supporting.
Please subscribe to the magazine or app and visit the Grapevine online store.
The app is free in your phone's app store and has great content and features provided at no cost to you.
But if you subscribe, you get so much more. And you support all things Grapevine, including this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Only $2.99 a month.
$3 a month? Come on.
I'm at the very wit's end. A company's personnel office received an email from someone requesting a listing of the department's staff broken down by age and sex. The office sent back this reply.
Attached is a list of our staff. We currently have no one broken down by age or sex. However, we do have a few alcoholics.
It's really not that funny.
Thanks for joining us. The AA Grapevine Half-Hour Variety Hour is posted every Monday and is produced by AA Grapevine, Inc. We don't speak for AA as a whole. We share the experience, strength, and hope of members to help others recover from alcoholism. All things Grapevine are available at aagrapevine.org, including our app and how to get in touch with us. Find us on Instagram and YouTube. If you want to know more about AA, visit aa.org or search online for Alcoholics Anonymous and your city.